Okay, so we're going to do some exercises standing. All you need is a chair if you need it. If you don't, then that's fine too. You can also use the railing if you have a railing in the house. That can be a handy thing, or the kitchen counter, all your choice. So we're going to get warmed up. So warmed up, we just need to move the body gently. You can invent your own moves. It's not anything specific. We want blood flowing and we want to oil up some joints. I'm doing this obviously right now without holding on. Now if I need to hold on, I'm just going to modify my movement and do it like this. If I need more support, I'm going to face the back of the chair and do a few moves that way. Okay, we can be as creative, but we don't need to be, it doesn't have to be complicated. We want it nice and simple. So let's get some blood flowing. Circles with the arms, do some arm curls. Legs forward, legs back, and just get everything a little bit warmed up. Reach above the head and down. And out to the sides. So you want to give yourself a little bit of space when you're doing exercises. The video doesn't contain any equipment, so that side's nice and simple. But you do want a few feet to each side so you're not bumping into furniture. All right, and there we go. So now we're going to actually start the exercises. That was a little warm up, gets the blood flowing. So our first exercise is going to be a step to the side and coming back. Just a simple step and back. Again, if you need the chair, you use the chair. It can be in front of you or to the side. Now when I'm landing with that foot, I'm absorbing by bending the knee. I don't want locked joints. Okay, really important. So you take your time. If it means you're doing one or two, you do one or two. You go at your pace. That's what's important. Okay, now let's change directions. A step and back. So it's easier, obviously, if you're using a chair to have it in front of you rather than put it on one side, put it on another side, and etc. Depends what exercise it is we're doing, but you'll adjust as you get used to the exercises. So little bend in the knee. Now when we're putting our bend in our knee, we want to make sure the knee goes in the same direction as the tips of your toes. Very important. Okay, I don't want to do a step like this and twist my knee in like that. I'm going to hurt myself. So I plant that foot nice and solid, no lock knee, bend the knee forward and push back off. If I can't do it that quickly, that's fine. I can go down, straighten up, and bring the feet together. Okay, another option too is just to be over there if balance is an issue. Bend and up, bend and up. This leg is straight, but the knee is not locked. Okay, so this would be working my left leg, and then when I want to switch over, do a little step with my right, bend and up. Again, the knee in the same direction as the tips of the toes. Okay, so that's using a little bit of the thigh muscles. Next, we can be on the back of the chair. Feet are hip width apart. Mini squats. Stick your bum out, come up. Bum out and up. So what do I want to do? What do I want to do is I want to look straight ahead. We're going to get a little bit of a bend at our waist. That's okay. What I don't want to see is this, because where's my bum going? If my bum has not lowered, it's no good. I need to lower my bum and come up. If we look from the front, knees are above the toes. No knees coming in. No, no, no. Push. You got to force those muscles in the thighs to stay in line with the tips of your toes. If it means you do one or two, you do one or two. If you can get up to 10, excellent. Okay, thigh muscles, so important. When we get up off a chair, sitting down, getting up, etc. All very important muscles. All right, next we're going to do bum curls. Tricky little one. So we want to bring our heel towards our bum and back down. When we're doing this, when people have tight muscles, either in the thigh, usually in the thigh, what they tend to do is they bring the knee forward and kick up. This is a no-no. It's not doing the work for the hamstring or the bum. We need to have the foot a little bit back. This will encourage. We want this thigh not to pass the other thigh. So then I come up and curl down. Notice that my thighs are in line with each other. That's what I want to keep. So this is the good move. And this is what I do not want. This is nonsense. Okay, let's switch to the other side. So what I find helps is if you just step back a little bit with the leg that's working, That's a little helpful. Squeeze, it's hamstrings. You might feel it pulling in the knee. That's just tight quad muscles usually. Up and down. Important muscles to have good range of motion and strength back there. Okay, excellent. Now let's do a knee raise. So for the knee raise, again, if we need the chair, we use the chair. Lift up. Make sure the supporting leg is not locked. So what does locked mean? I can have a straight leg. This is straight. This is locked. Okay? So a teeny tiny, I usually tell people, put a little bend in your knee. That's what protects it. Doesn't mean your knee's down like this to protect it. Try and keep it straight or a teeny tiny bend, but just not locked. So let's go back to the hip flexion. Knee up and down. Okay, let's change legs. So when you're doing these exercises, start with 5 repetitions of each. Then you can increase, go to 10, go to 15, you can even go to 20. That'll increase, as you're increasing the number of repetitions, it's going to help with your endurance. Once that gets too easy, you can also add weights on, ankle weights. You could do 2 sets of, say, 15 repetitions. So when you do 2 sets, you have a couple of options. One is to either do a set, have a rest, and then do another set. Or you can go through the whole group of exercises and then do it a second time. Or do one exercise, then the other one, go back to the first for a second set, and then do the second and alternate like that. All right? So we did those. Now how about we go and do a little reach back with the leg. Front knee is bent and come forward. Reach back and come forward. So if you can do it without a chair and you're stable, go for it. If not, then you need to hold on to the chair or a railing, something that's good and stable. Do 3 more for this leg. Okay, and let's change legs. Just 2 more times. Perfect. So now what we're going to do, let's go up on our tiptoes. Again, you can do this behind the chair if you need to. You're going to place your feet hip width apart. We're going to do a few different ones with the calf muscles. So we're up on our tiptoes and down. These exercises you can do in running shoes if you like. You can also do in bare feet. Up on your toes and down. Up on your toes and down. So when we have our feet about hip width apart, we're more stable than when we have our feet glued together. So let's glue our feet together and let's see the difference. So now it's like a vase with a little narrow base versus a vase with a wider base. We're going to go up on our tiptoes, squeeze your butt muscles, and slowly lower. Squeeze and hold. So you want to control the movement. If you can do it without the chair, excellent. We even get the core muscles working in there. What you can also do is hug the heels. Make the heels touch each other. Stay in contact with each other. Just doing that little detail changes the muscles we're using and really goes and recruits the muscles. Do 2 more of those. Okay, then we're going to turn our feet out. So they'll be a little bit apart and the toes are turned out. Make sure the knees follow the tips of the toes. We're going to go, I call this the duck position. Up on our tiptoes, squeeze the bum, squeeze the core muscles, and down. Up and down. We're going to do a nice little calf stretch after this. One more. Perfect. So here's our stretch for the calf muscle. What we're going to do is we're going to take a step back. We're going to bend the front knee. You'll feel a little stretch. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to bring my pelvis forward as well at the same time. So the back leg is straight. The front knee is bent. I'll feel a little bit of a pull in the calf, but now I'm going to switch it and I'm going to bend the back knee, and that's going to go get down at the ankle a little bit more. So both my knees are bent, but my weight is mainly on my back leg. And let's change legs. So a nice step back. The back leg is straight to begin with. I bring my pelvis forward. That actually gives me a stretch in the hip flexors at the same time. Hold it for a few seconds. And then I'm going to bend that back knee to go get down lower near the ankle. And up we go. All right, so let's do a little bit of combination movements. What we're going to do is we're going to reach with the arm and notice the leg at the same time. I'm going to extend and come back. Extend. So my heel on my left leg, or heel on my left foot, is raising as I extend. Reach and come back. Reach and come back. Again, if you need the chair or railing, you use that for stability. Reach, and you go at your pace. If it means you can only do a couple, you do a couple. When we do this, I can feel all the stretch, the whole length, and the muscles are getting all involved. We're going to change sides. So the feet are about 1.5 feet apart. If they're close like this, I'm going to be stuck. I'm not going to have that same ability to move or freedom to move. I also won't have the same stability. So when my feet are out wider, I'm more stable. And reach. And reach. So a little bend in the knees to avoid locking them. Let's do this one a couple more times. Reach. And reach. Perfect. We're going to combine now as well. We're going to do heel to the bum, but it's going to be opposite hand to heel. Now again, if you're using a chair, do 5 repetitions on one side and then change sides, and then just keep doing that. So I'm going to alternate. Okay, I can keep my arms out. Look, notice I'm keeping my arms out. That gets those muscles in the shoulders doing a little bit of work. Lift and lower, lift and lower. So this is one option. Second option is holding the chair. So then it's going to be my right arm, left leg, tap, tap, tap. Really take the time. Don't do like a little half movement. It doesn't mean you're going to physically touch your heel, and that's okay. But you're going to aim to touch it, and that's what matters. And then if we're going to change size, tap, and I try and keep the other arm up unless I'm holding onto the chair. Okay? So we've done in behind. Now let's try doing the front. We're going to do opposite hand to knee. So tap, tap, tap. So a little bit of coordination. The brain has to coordinate in there, and that's exercises for the brain, which is excellent. Okay, if you're holding on to the chair, no problem. Tap, tap. Bring the arm out again, right? Why not get a little bit of exercise and muscle strength in the arm rather than just tapping like this? Let's get the real movements out. All right, same thing on the other side. Tap and tap. Okay, next we're going to test that hip rotation a little bit, and we're going to try and tap the ankle. Tap and tap. So my knee needs to go out. If it doesn't go out, I can't go and really reach. And the goal of this exercise is actually to do a bit of a rotation in the hip. Now if it's hard to reach, you can just focus on the leg, bring it down. So turn it so that it's almost like you're seeing the inside of your sole of your shoe. Turn, bring the knee out, rotate out. Excellent for the hip muscles. And then change legs. So option 1 is this. Okay, using the chair for support if you need it. Option 2, tap and tap. You can reach the arm out, tap. It is not the same as just going to the knee, because obviously you're going farther, so you're getting more of a stretch. Okay, so that's external rotation. Now if we do internal rotation, then we're going to go tap the heel, But notice my knee is coming in. Heel out, knee in. All right, there's two important muscles in there. And if it's tough, that's okay. Use the chair. Kick out, come back. Kick out, come back. And just look right away, the hip. Rotate and back. Rotate and back. So we need our hips to go in all sorts of directions. I need it out. I need it in. Okay? And the more flexible and stronger it is, the less pain we have. Next, we're going to do a little butt wiggle. So just stretch and stretch. Notice what my legs are doing. So one knee comes forward, the other leg goes back. Stretch. Okay, so I call this a little butt wiggle. You're actually stretching the outside of the hips. Reach and reach. Nice deep breaths at the same time. And you can go at your pace. But just this warms up the hip muscles. And you'll see, you'll be really stiff to begin with, and then wow, all of a sudden they're loosening up as you continue with your butt wiggle. All right? The other one is to bend the knees, little circles. Okay? If it's tough, you don't have to have your hands on your knees. You can still have your hand on the chair on a railing. And little circles, and then change directions. Super. Let's give those legs a little shake. Let's do a few more exercises. How about little kicks forward? Kick and back. If we need the chair, we take the chair for support. Kick and back down. Kick. So this obviously balance, right? We're on one foot. And a little bit of strength in the thigh. Let's change legs. So if I'm using my chair, it can be by my side, lift, kick, and back down. Keep an eye on that other leg. Make sure you're not locking the knee. Let's do a couple more of those. Excellent. Now we're going to do a little bit for the hips and the bum. So we get to use our chair now. You're going to go lift up and lower. So I'm allowed to be a bit inclined. I don't need to be completely straight like this because my leg's not going to go very far. So I can be a little bit inclined as long as the chair doesn't move. If the chair is going to move, stay more vertical. Lift and lower. My leg is absolutely straight. It's not this. Okay? So lift, squeeze my butt. Keep a little bend in the opposite leg, in the supporting leg. Squeeze and lower. Squeeze and lower. Let's change legs. Squeeze. Again, you go at your pace. So if you want to hold it up there a little bit longer and come down. If you want to rest, then you keep it down a little bit longer. Everybody's pace is different. Let's do one more of those. Perfect. Now we're going to add a challenge. This next one is actually good if you have the countertop and you can rest your forearms on the countertop. So I am going to lower myself. What I'm going to do is step back with the leg. I'm going to lift my leg a little bit. Now I'm going to bring my heel to my bum, straighten out the leg, but my leg's going to stay in the air. Make sure your supporting leg is not locked. And notice my thigh is not moving. Only the calf area from the knee down is moving. So a lot of muscles involved in this one. You do what you can. If you can do these exercises in front of a mirror, do it in front of a mirror. It's always an excellent tool. So I'm going to reach up. I don't have to be high. Kick to the bum. Straighten out the leg and try and keep that thigh as still as I can. And my supporting leg with a teeny tiny bend in it, or at least just not locked. Let's do 3 more of those. 1, 2, and 3. Excellent. Now we're going to do one that seems funny, but it's good. You can do it while you're doing the dishes. Squeeze your butt muscles while you're standing. Hold, 1, 2, 3, and relax. Squeeze your butt muscles and relax. Now when you squeeze your butt muscles, see what happens with the lower back, with your stomach. If I just let everything go, or if I squeeze, when I squeeze, I'm forcing myself to tighten up the stomach muscles, tighten up my back muscles and the butt. All excellent stabilizers for the core muscles. So when we sort of flop and let our bum go, a lot of these core muscles are on vacation. Squeeze your butt, tucks the bum in, tucks the belly in, which people like, and it takes a little bit of that curve away in the lower back. And relax. Tuck in. It's kind of like doing a standing pelvic tilt. And relax. 2 more. And relax. Last one. Up. Squeeze. Hold. 1, 2. And breathe. Very important. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And relax and give that little bum a jiggle. All right. Let's do a little bit for the arms. Do nice big circles. Little bend in the knees. So we can do little bend and up. Bend and up. Excellent. And then we're going to go spread the feet apart a little bit, little bend in the knees, reach, come back, reach, reach. Perfect. Change sides, reach. So it's not a big movement because the hips are staying still. I'm doing a little movement from the waist. So only the upper body's moving. 2 more. Reach. And reach. Excellent. And relax the shoulders. We're going to do a nice stretch down. Pull the hands down towards the bum. Or below the bum, towards the floor really. So when we do this, right away we're taking some tension off the shoulders. Nice big straight posture. We're looking straight ahead. Little bend in the knees. We can do some mini squats as we hold the position. Again, if you need to use the chair to hold, maybe just sit in the chair if you need to, and try and do a little pull back, or pull down I should say, with the hands. It's actually a pull down, because if we pull back, that's another exercise. We want to pull straight down and relax. Okay, we're going to put our legs out nice and wide. We're going to do what they call sumo squats. So your toes are going to be turned out just a little bit. When we go down, what's important, it depends on your flexibility for how far your toes are going to be turned out, because you need to make sure when you go down, your knees go in the same direction as the tips of your toes. So you might feel really stiff to begin with. Again, this chair can absolutely be right in front of you. Plie and up. You'll feel like you're back in ballet. Up and down. Okay, so as you're doing this, ideally you're going to loosen up bit by bit and be able to go down a little bit farther each time. What I don't want is to have knees coming in like this with toes going out. Really not what you want. So knees out, nice and strong. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stay down there and we're going to lift one heel up at a time. So you make sure you're breathing. Lift, lift, lift. 2 more on each side. So 1, 2, and slowly up. Bring the legs back together. Give them a little stretch. Okay, we're going to do a little stretch again. This time we can have our heel off the ground. Bring your pelvis forward so we get a nice stretch in the front of the hip flexors. And change legs. Perfect. We're going to do a little stretch down, so a little bend in the knees. Watch with the blood flushing to the head when you go to get back up. So if you're sensitive in terms of getting dizzy, maybe this is not the best exercise for you. You're going to slowly bend down. Bend down, let your arms go if you can, and slowly up. Unpeel, roll up bit by bit by bit. Shoulders back and down. We're going to do it again. Now if this is tough, you can also use the back of the chair and not go down as far, just sort of bend yourself like this down. So you're almost like a table And it depends how tight those muscles are. So again, little bend in the knees, reach down slowly, let yourself drop for a bit. Few deep breaths. Slowly back up. And we can reach up to the ceiling. Open up your arms. A few little wet arm curls, shoulder rolls, I should say, and relax. So that's a little workout you have for the standing position.